Hi everybody, my name is Tony Lankford. Welcome to Tony Lankford's Downtown The Actors Lounge. It's a television program that brings you interviews with actors from New York and Philadelphia, and we also show some great movie trailers as well. So hang in there, we got some great trailers coming up, some great interviews of some local actors from Philadelphia and New York. It's Tony Lankford's Downtown The Actors Lounge. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Quiet on the set. Take one.
What's your name?
My name's David No.
And what do you do?
I'm a filmmaker from Australia.
Okay. And what are you doing here in the States?
I'm sort of looking to transition to move to Los Angeles. I am in Philadelphia at the moment for the Big Bang Film Festival.
Okay. And what do you have in the Big Bang Film Festival?
I have a film called Forged, which is Australia's first and only sword drama, epic sword drama, old world.
And are you in it?
Yes, I'm the writer, director, producer, actor, stunt coordinator.
Okay. And what role do you play in the film itself? What acting role do you play?
I play Derek. Derek is an aging sword master. The film is basically about a father and son. Derek is an aging sword master, and he adopts a young boy, a young orphan, and teaches him sword work. And as an adult, they have a falling out, and he ends up challenging Derek to a death duel. And so we have a situation where father and son are both going to a death duel. Neither of them want to be a part of, but both can't find a way out of it.
And what was your inspiration for doing this film?
I actually had a student. I was teaching martial arts in Melbourne, and I had a student that was learning the sport aspect more than the martial arts aspect. And I felt that he was not learning the nuances of the martial art, or those aspects that are, I think, very important. So, and it's not because, I don't think he just came from a different background, and he just didn't quite absorb that sort of stuff.
Now, why martial arts? Why not crime drama? Why not horror? Why not science fiction? Why martial arts?
Well, I grew up. Both my parents taught martial arts. My father brought Taekwondo to Australia in 1965. My mother is like the highest ranking female in Australia. I've done it since I was in the womb. And so that was kind of a natural. I've been working in the industry as an actor and a stuntman for many, many years, and I've done a lot of those sort of movies with Jackie Chan, movies, like Yuen Woo-ping, the Matrix Reloaded sequel, and Enter the Matrix computer game, and those sort of things. So great. It was natural for me to make that sort of movie.
Now, compared to Australia, what do you feel about the United States?
America, obviously, it's a bigger industry, much bigger industry for filmmakers, and I think American culture in general is very supportive of talent, irrespective of where it comes from. So I think because it is bigger, there's not a sense of competition and, you're going to be better, so therefore we're going to keep you down, or anything like that. So it's definitely a very positive energy over here, very positive.
What do you feel how do you feel about independent film in general? The direction it's going with the exposure of the internet, that sort of thing, as opposed to Hollywood features?
Interesting question. I think that independent film is very important. It's very important to foster, and that's why when you come out to these film festivals, you need to really support each other. As filmmakers, we try to see each other's films as much as we can, and we hope that we have a lot of audience, come in and have a look too, because the type of films that you see in independent film you're not going to get to always see. It's not usually necessarily acceptable to see from the perspective of the government or the framework of the studios, or in my situation, an Australian film that is about martial arts is unheard of. You know, the Australian government would never fund that sort of movie. So the only way I could make that film is to pay for it myself, and it's paid off because the film has won awards in every film festival it's ever gone in. It's won best film in the last 2 film festivals, and we hope that in Philadelphia we're going to win another one.
Now, why wouldn't the Australia government pay for a film such as this nature?
The situation in Australia is that we're very heavily reliant on government funding. This is because Australia had 2 strong points in history in the film industry. In the 1920s, Australia was the biggest film industry in the world. It had was making more films than even America at that time, and it was the English that censored the films because they were making bushranger films. The second point was in the 80s we were making a lot of films, and that was because of a tax concession of 150%. So if you put $10 into a film, you got $15 off your tax. And a lot of people were brought into the system, so they closed all these tax laws down, and now government funding or private funding in Australia is very, very difficult. So because of that, pretty much all films are either made on no money or on government money, and then the government chooses what gets greenlit, what they consider is important for Australia to make. I think Australia does tend to have a problem with its own cultural identity, and it tries to be a little bit too Australian. I mean, I'm Australian, I've grown up in Australia, but it appears that what I want to make is maybe not Australian enough at the moment. But it is changing. They have just instituted new tax laws, 40% rebate situation. So yeah, I really hope that I can go back and contribute to the Australian industry.
Now, you said you're headed towards LA.
Yeah, I've got my work visa, and I'm kind of transitioning to live in LA now.
And you're looking to do more films here in the United States?
Yes, yeah, both as a performer, and also I have my own projects that I want to keep pursuing. It's exciting times for David Know.
And what formats do you usually work in when you're filming?
The last film I shot on Super 16.
And what's your name?
David Know.
And what are you?
An Australian filmmaker.
Director.
A director, or a stuntman. Right now I'm just having breakfast and coffee, so